Hey everyone! Welcome to my first ever studio vlog. My name is Diana and I'm a graphic designer and illustrator living in Canada. I'm also a stay-at-home mom who is passionate about making time for slow living even when things are busy. So I don't live on acreage with my family or anything like that, so I've been trying to think of ways that I can be kind of a suburban homesteader, if you will. And for this year, that meant starting our first vegetable garden. I've come to realize that just because I don't currently grow all of our food or make all of our clothes, that doesn't mean it's not worth it for me to enjoy doing what I can. And for me, that is a lot of it. I do this for my own enjoyment more than because it saves money or for any other reason. It's just something that I truly love to do. We've been super lucky this year to have the opportunity to put in this vegetable garden. And then my husband also surprised me with this beautiful self-watering planter for our 10-year anniversary. It's been really wonderful to have. And while it is self-watering, I do water the top of it from time to time as the topsoil does dry out just a little bit. And these little seedlings need all the water they can get. While I do love the old ways, I also love the new ways. And since having my daughter, I've been really embracing digital art for how quick and clean it can be compared to traditional art. I love watercolors and gouache, and that's how I got started with art and illustration. But drawing on my iPad has been a great way to keep up with art, just in stolen moments as I have them. Twice a week, my husband will also give me time to work in my office while he hangs out with our daughter. This has been kind of a recent thing, and I found that it has been so relaxing and a great way to recharge. While it's been wonderful to have that time to myself and that is quite restorative in its own way, it's actually been mostly that I have that time to be creative and to use a different part of my brain that I think really gives me the energy I need to come back rested and restored and take on the rest of the day. Lately, I've been working on designs that I want to put on products in the future, and here you see me putting them on templates that I can then put onto mock-ups. This design isn't totally finalized yet, but I want to see how it sits on a mock-up so that I can understand how it sits on a t-shirt versus a mug or a phone case, and that way I can kind of know what changes I want to make. This was a super relaxing day, and I've been really enjoying working with this design. I'm really loving all of the peachy tones lately, so I'm just really excited to see what this is going to look like once it's on products. I feel that I'm probably going to eventually end up getting a phone case or something like that. After working on the computer for a bit, I decided to take a break and wind off some yarn that I spun up on this spindle. I need the spindle back so that I can spin up the last bit of yarn for what will eventually be a 3-ply ball of yarn for a pair of hand-spun socks that I have been wanting to make. I've been knitting on and off for basically my whole life, and in the past 10 years it has grown to be a huge part of what I love to do. I love that knitting is both relaxing and also kind of productive in the way that you end up getting something you can wear in the end. I also love that I can spin my own yarn and get to be a part of the process beginning to end for the different sweaters and hats and different things that I like to make. It's nice to have something that's creative without needing to use so much of the creative muscle that you need for things like illustrating and design work. This feels a lot more relaxed, but I still get to use my hands and create something. Moving on to the next day, I thought I would do some baking. When it's just me and my daughter, I can't do design work as much because I need to be hanging out with her and can't really dig into a project like that. But baking is something that we can kind of do together and that I can kind of do on the sidelines while I play and hang out with her. On this day, I decided to make eclairs, which is something that I've made once before in the past, and I'm surprised I didn't make again because they did turn out. I decided this time that I wanted to make the eclairs gluten-free because I do have a sister who can't eat gluten, and I was super happy with how these turned out actually. I only used the one-to-one replacement gluten-free flour. I think I have the Rogers kind, and it worked out perfectly. I could 100% recommend. My husband ended up trying these and said that he couldn't even really tell the difference between these and the regular flour ones, which I feel is an incredible win. So I will definitely be making these again in the future. This wasn't one of the days that I had set aside for work, but I noticed that my daughter was peacefully watching a movie with my husband, so I figured I would take a few minutes to myself and do some illustrating. My daughter is at that age where she wants to be doing anything that I'm doing, so that makes it challenging to do any illustrating near her. So moments like this are welcome and wonderful, although I'm also mindful of how precious these days are, where she is this little and is wanting to spend so much quality time with us. This was a really nice way to round out the rest of my night and the rest of my week. I worked on the final illustrations of these daisies, and then we finished watching Moana all together, which was lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today for my first ever studio vlog. I look forward to seeing you very soon.